Ball is probably the most misplayed hero in this game. Most non-ball mains and many ball mains play ball like shit Winston. They see a clump of enemies, and then they immediately go into the enemy backline and Piledrive. Repeat until they feed, most likely, or they get a lucky kill. But this playstyle misses the entire point of ball. Sure, Piledrive is a nice burst damage ability, but a nice burst damage ability is not always what you need. And against brawlier comps, an early Piledrive is more likely than not going to take you back to spawn. You see, Ball's main tool is not his Piledrive. Instead, it is his primary fire and grapple. By simply being on an angle and using your primary fire, you're still distracting the enemy without having to commit your adaptive shields or half your HP. And the longer you draw the enemy's eyes on you, the more your team can take risks and not get punished. Not to mention that Grapple is an underrated ability that creates opportunities for your team to kill, while being safer than Piledrive. You want to think of Piledrive as a more opportunistic ability. You want to use Piledrive when you see these three scenarios. You either want to use it to finish off low HP enemies, relieve pressure from your backline if the enemy's posing a serious threat to it, or when you know someone can follow up on it, like, for example, a Tracer, an Echo, a Genji, etc. Note that even with follow-up, you don't want to instantly Piledrive most of the time, especially into more brawlier comps. Let your team soften up the enemy first. For example, if you have like any sort of range damage, let them get targets to 1 HP first. Distract the enemy to help them like get those like targets down to 1 HP. Or even just shoot and grapple and wait for an opportunity to arise. Like one will eventually arise. Just wait until like someone fucks up, or like you have like ultimates to use, or someone simply like low health and can't really like escape or deal with you. And that's when Piledrive really shines.